I would love to know how you practice self-love in those transitional phases, or even those phases where you might get some public pushback or something. How do you back yourself? How do you lean into self-love, that even if others disagree or don't support or understand you, how can you lean back into love?
That's beautiful. One thing I want to say, and I think it's very important, that you cannot be authentically yourself unless you are showing up completely as you.
Yeah.
So that means, as you shared, until you incorporated intuition into your business, right? You were somehow, maybe in some ways, not fully authentic, right?
Yes.
So for me, everything I'm doing at the moment is absolutely authentic because I employ every aspect of myself. I bring my whole being into what I do, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And it is scary. And I think if I were to do this years ago, I would have not been ready for it. And I'll tell you why. Because it takes courage. It takes a certain amount of stamina within yourself to be able to also have the pushback.
Yeah.
And you have to know when you're stepping fully into you that it's okay not to be accepted by some. And that was in the first few weeks when we went public. I think the pushback I've gotten.
I do.
And there were some comments that were not very nice. And I had an advice of somebody who's been in the public eye, who's been rejected, pushed back, seen as an outcast for the last 50 plus years. And he gave me really great advice. He said, Elena, do not read all of the comments people are leaving.
Yeah.
In fact, disconnect from it. This will keep you in a place of being yourself, being in your love and in your heart. So I always go back to, I'm coming from a place of love. I'm here to share from my heart. And those people that are triggered, that's also okay. So I'm okay with that. So it's knowing that I'm doing things in full integrity. And how do I rebalance in between? That's your question. Well, it took me a year of working 7 days a week. And when the business exploded, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized, I need to go back and change my schedule. So this is also recognizing that as you go through shifts and ebbs and flow in your business, it's always important to go back and reevaluate what is working. And it might be working on business scale, right? Financially, it might be working well, but maybe for you personally, for your health, it's depleting you, right? So for me personally, I realized I need breaks in between, and this is healthy. It's very healthy because as an entrepreneur, you have to give yourself space to receive. And whether that receiving means going and recharging in nature, or just sitting and reading a book, or maybe some people might feel like they need to go to the gym. I'm one of those people where I need to move my body because my job is sitting most of the time, right? I'm indoors sitting most of the time, listening to beautiful music, giving yourself time to, again, reconnect to that creative essence that exists. And in order to have this creative flow, right? And in order to give, you have to learn to receive. So this has been my big lesson in the last year, is to learn to receive, which I found to be one of the most challenging things as a business person, is to say, I need help. And that help means I need breaks.
Yes.
To recharge and refuel. So that is the way that I balance myself, and I'm able to give back and disconnect from any negative things. Not that it's not there, because it's always part of who we are. Those shadows will always show up. Yeah. It's acknowledging them. And also they're there to help me recognize what is it within myself that triggers me that I haven't healed yet. So it's always an opportunity for healing. But the only way to heal is give yourself space, right? In the midst of the hurricane, it's very difficult to heal, right? So it's when you have the space, then the healing can take place.
Very true. And I think what you shared earlier also about the advice you got, I know especially many highly sensitive people are scared of the pushback and the criticism, so much so that it can stop them from doing something that they know they want to do, but they feel they can't handle the pushback. And I felt the same when I did my TED Talk. I was terrified of the YouTube comment world because YouTube is not always a kind place, as we all know. And I practiced the same. I actually didn't look at the comments until many years later. Now I can look at them, but at the time it would have been too raw for me to see how people might judge me, and it would have detracted from my joy around the experience. So I also protected myself, and now because I have some, I have grown as a person since then, I can read it now, and if I read negative things, it doesn't impact me now. But I know at that time it was the right thing to do to insulate myself. And the other thing that I found really precious, and I think this might be also something that you feel, is to build a community of people who support you.